All right, welcome back. While you all are refueling and rehydrating, I'll be in class. So, yesterday we covered the most important topics of the in-body scan and hydration protocols. We also watched the video module on macronutrients, proteins, carbs, and fats, hydration strategies, and energy balance. Okay, let's zoom in on the key things to remember about our main energy sources, the macronutrients. First up, carbohydrates. Think of these as your body's preferred and quickest source of energy, like the fuel your car loves to burn first. You find them in things like grains, fruits, and vegetables. They break down into what's called glucose, which is the actual fuel for everything you do, from thinking hard in class to rocking it on the field. Carbs power your brain and are essential for fueling your workouts and giving you the energy to perform. Remember, there are two types of carbohydrates. You have the complex carbohydrates that come from fruits and vegetables and give you a very slow and steady energy, while simple carbs and sugary snacks and drinks give you a quick burst, right? Followed by a crash. So just think of like the sugar in your soda. You drink a soda, you have that quick rush, but then you crash. You want to avoid that at all times. So you want to eliminate the soda, you want to eliminate the sugars, the bad sugars and candy, and start incorporating more fruits and vegetables, which are your complex carbs, which is going to give you that steady and slow energy. Eating complex carbs before exercise gives you that immediate energy boost, and eating them after exercise, like you're doing now, right, helps you with muscle recovery. The next macronutrient that we covered was protein. These are your building blocks for life. They're made of what's called amino acids and are super important for muscle repair, muscle growth, and keeping your muscles strong. Want to stay healthy and strengthen your immune system and not get sick? Eat protein. Protein is key. And for all of you athletes and dancers out there, protein will help you optimize your performance. Finally, fats. There are a longer lasting source of energy and also help with insulating our bodies and protecting our organs. But remember, not all fats are created equal. We want to limit things like saturated and trans fats and focus more on eating unsaturated fats found in foods like avocados, nuts, seeds, and olive oil. Interestingly, our bodies can store energy from fats to use it later, which is why you feel satisfied and full after you eat good fats in your diet. So think about it in this term. Carbohydrates give you a quick burst of energy. So think of filling your car up just a quarter tank of gas. It's only going to allow you to drive to a certain point. Proteins offer a more sustained energy. So think of filling up your tank halfway. It's going to get you a little farther than the carbohydrates because now you have half a tank of gas. Fats provide a longer sustained energy. So think of filling your car up the full tank. So carbohydrates, a quarter tank, proteins, half a tank of gas, and fats, you're filling up the whole tank. So, to feel your best and to perform your best, it's all about eating a balanced meal with a good mix of all of these macronutrients, your carbohydrates, proteins, and fats, to properly fuel your body throughout the day. All right, let's talk about your body's amazing energy storage system, the glycogen stores. Think of them like your personal energy reservoirs, like a power generator with their own fuel tanks. Imagine these reservoirs as big tanks filled with energy balls. And those energy balls are actually glucose, a type of sugar that's your body's main source of fuel. These reservoirs are like your backup power supply, for example. Now, when your body needs energy, these power generators release these balls of energy, glucose, into your cells. Your cells then act like tiny delivery trucks, transporting this energy and other nutrients throughout your body so that everything can keep running smoothly. So, how do we keep these energy reservoirs filled? You guessed it, by eating carbohydrates. Think of it like filling up your gas tank so you have enough fuel to crush your workouts, to dominate a game, to nail your dance routine. These reservoirs are your tank of supply. So just remember, glucose is the primary energy sugar we get from the foods. It travels through your bloodstream and it powers all of your cells. This is important because next week we're going to dive into meal timing, specifically eating before and after your workouts, to make sure that these energy reservoirs are ready to go when you need them the most. So if you look at the diagram on the left, the athlete is on the bike working out. He's using the balls of energy, glucose, to fuel his workout. Once he's done working out, he eats a piece of whole wheat bread to fill up the balls of energy, glycogen stores. By doing so, it fills up the tank of fuel and it gives him the energy for the other activities he has planned for the day. Another example is you all just worked out. Now you're refueling your glycogen stores with fruit so that you have enough energy for this workshop. It's a simple concept. You fuel by eating, you burn up energy, glycogen, with activity, and then you refuel again so that you have enough energy for the rest of the day. When we talk about balanced meals, what does that mean? It means that we have a nice combination of macronutrients, your carbohydrates, proteins, and fats in a meal. So this is a sample breakfast plate that I had today. Does it have all three macronutrients, carbohydrates, proteins, and fats? Yes, it does. I ate apples, which is a carbohydrate, bacon, which is a fat and protein, but for the most part, it has more fats, right? And then I had my eggs for the protein. This is what you call a well balanced plate. Let's talk about energy balance, which is a really straightforward concept. Good energy in equals good energy out. Think of it like this. If you put good energy in, meaning you're eating a variety of nutrient-dense foods from all of the food groups, like healthy carbohydrates, proteins, and fats, and you're staying well hydrated with water, then you're going to have good energy out. You're likely to be feeling great and ready to tackle your day. This is what we call a balanced diet with a good hydration support. On the flip side of that, if you're consistently putting in bad foods, such as junk foods, sugars, fast foods, and processed foods, and you're not drinking enough water throughout the day, then you're probably going to have bad energy out. And this can leave you feeling tired and exhausted. So, energy balance is all about trying to tip the scales towards good energy in and just choosing those healthy foods, minimizing those that have bad calories, sugars, unhealthy fats, and just staying hydrated throughout the day. Fuel your body well, and it will give you good energy in return. All right, now it's time to put what we've learned into action with a fun team challenge. Let's break up into groups of 5. Each team is going to get a deck of cards. Your task is to stack the cards into 3 groups, and these groups will represent our different macronutrients, carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. Now, here's a little twist. Remember that some foods can have a mix of macronutrients. So you'll need to think about the primary macronutrient in each card. Once you've got your macronutrient stacks, your next challenge is to identify which macronutrient group provides the following energy levels based on what we discussed: a quarter tank of gas, half a tank of gas, and full tank of gas. Finally, your team will also need to put your hydration knowledge to the test. Taking an example of a person who weighs 140 pounds, as a team, calculate the daily hydration intake if it's hot outside, and what should the person's hydration intake be if it's hot outside and they decide to work out or they have to be part of a game that they have to play. This is a team effort. So work together, discuss, and let's see who can master both macronutrients and hydration. Let your nutrition facilitator know if you have any questions, and good luck. All right, team, great job on the workout. So, for the homework this week, we're going to do a little personal investigation to connect what we've learned into our lives. What I'd like for you to do is the following. First, track how much water you're currently drinking for a day or two, and then compare that amount to your individual hydration requirement. Are you meeting your needs? Are you close? What adjustments might you consider making to ensure that you're hydrating properly? Next, I want you to log your current food intake for a day. As you log what you're eating, try to categorize those foods into 3 macronutrient groups: carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. This will help you become more aware of the main components of your diet. Finally, as you look at your food log, think critically about what you're eating. Ask yourself, are these mostly nutrient dense foods, providing my body with the important minerals and vitamins that I need? Does the food intake seem a little aligned with the principles of energy balance that we discussed or not? This homework is not about judgment. It's all about building awareness and starting to apply the concepts to your own healthy journey. Bring your observations and questions to the next class, and we'll be more than happy to assist you. All right, so if you have any questions on today's topic, please give them to your nutrition facilitator, and I will have the answers for you during your next session. Okay, it's time for my favorite part of the workshop, trivia time. So take out your phones because it's time for Kahoot. All right, athletes, so this concludes today's class. Make sure that you thank your coaches and facilitators for their time. They're all volunteers. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you tomorrow. Have a great rest of the day.